good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Crosswalk episode 11. Man, you know what's funny, man? I thought we were gonna have a down week, but thanks, Connor. What's going on with you, man?
Man, it's always good, man. It's always a treat when we get a chance to do this. Been looking forward to it, like I do each and every weekend. Ready to get into it and see where the conversation goes today.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for those in the chat, if this is your first time popping in here, I'm Jax. That's Cross, and that's where the crosswalk came from. We talk about a variety of things: UFC, NFL, college football, NBA. Shoot, we might even get into some MLB. I don't even know, but yeah, we talk about a lot of stuff. So first off, I think we'll start with the NFL first. Have you been paying attention to anything when it comes to like training camp or people getting paid, any of that stuff?
So a little bit of the draft stuff, especially like what's going on with the Bengals with Shamar. What's the guy's last name? The defensive lineman came from A&M. Shamar
Oh, yeah,
Turner.
Turner. Mhm.
And then like they haven't signed their other the Hendricks, their other edge rusher.
Yeah.
They haven't signed him yet.
Yeah.
And then, obviously the list that just came out with the NFL, the top 10 QBs. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet. There haven't been a whole lot going on with the NFL, but things about to pick up here really quickly.
Yeah, training camp is about to start for most people, or for most teams, and there's a lot of stories. The NFL never closes; it never ends. Yeah, Hendrickson, thanks, Grammy. Yeah,
What's up, Grammy?
Yeah, the Rambling Dad. He's up in. He said, "Cross, keep yours on. Ain't nobody want to see it." Oh man, Chris Cushman. Yeah. Shout out to all the day ones, the ones that are always up in here. And like I always say, make sure y'all are sharing that out to other people. We're trying to make sure that this continues to grow as we move forward. But let's jump into this first story, because I know we got some other stories that we want to pop into.
Every year, NFL quarterback rankings stir up debates, and this year is no exception. According to the writers at the Associated Press, the top 10 quarterbacks heading into the 2025 season have been revealed, and as expected, Patrick Mahomes holds the top spot. With Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts all performing at the peak of their careers, the competition is fierce. But here's the big question. Are these rankings truly on point? Or are some quarterbacks being overhyped while others are being slept on? Are we giving enough credit to players like Justin Herbert? Or is Baker Mayfield still hanging on too long? Let's break down the top 10s, pick out the surprises, and discuss which rankings make sense and which ones don't.
So what you got, brother? I'm curious. I'm curious to see what you think about this one.
Let me switch this thing. All right. So the first question is, who is ranked too low? That's my first question. I know who I'm gonna say. And despite this Cowboys hat, I'm being very impartial right now. I'm gonna be very impartial. But who do you think is ranked too low?
Too low? So before I say this, I guess I need to give a little bit of a disclaimer. When you're playing the quarterback position, like there's two elements to it. There's your accolades and there's the team success. Like they are tied together at that position. It's a very unique position. And I'll give you an example. You look at a guy like Dan Marino. Like the guys that actually played the game, they put Dan Marino in that category of like greatest ever to ever play the position. But then when you get outside of the people that played it, they don't really give him the respect he probably should. as a Joe Montana that's 4-0 in Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Like winning those championships is kind of like a feather in the cap to guys, because when you're around like athletes, whatever you have that one up another guy, you use it and like say, I've done this, you haven't done this, and it literally like motivates guys. So let me give that disclaimer. So for me, I personally think Jalen Hurts is a little too low, and I'm gonna tell you why. The man has outplayed Patrick Mahomes twice in the Super Bowl, beat him once. Justin Herbert, great quarterback, all the physical traits, hasn't done much, hasn't won any awards, doesn't have any rings. Like, I get it, all the ability in the world. And another example with that, Jaden Daniels, super talented, all the ability in the world, hasn't done enough, hasn't won yet. Like, does he look like he can be one of those guys? Absolutely, 100%. But I think if you talk to the guys on the team, would they rather have a guy that's supremely talented at that position, or a guy that, like, when it's the big game and it's the big stage, that guy's going to play his best and deliver? I think more times than not, those guys are like, I want the guy that's going to be that guy on the big stage and deliver. So for me, I think Jalen Hurts is a touch too low just because of what he's done in the Super Bowl and the playoffs.
Yep. So as I kind of led that in, despite, the fact that I'm a Cowboys fan, I think that everybody has recognized that I can be very impartial if I need to be. And in this case, I definitely think that the reigning Super Bowl MVP cannot be ranked number 9, while a dude who hasn't won a playoff game is ranked number 7. That makes no sense. I understand the Jaden Daniels, what he's done as well, and I think that them putting him at number 5 is based on potential alone. He has a lot of Lamar Jackson, in him as far as the way that he plays, and I think that at this stage of his career, going into his sophomore season, he's a better passer already than Lamar was at that point in time. But that being said, there's no way that Jalen Hurts shouldn't, at the very least, be number 5. I mean, like, I understand Matthew Stafford is who he is. He's also 37. And then, Jared Goff he's a product of what's around him, which is great. And he has to do the job, but he's still a product of what's around him. So I think that Jalen Hurts is criminally underrated for what he does for that team. And the fact that he won Super Bowl MVP and they got him barely in the top 10 is insane.
Because something else people don't give people credit for. When you got all that talent around you, you got to be the guy that keeps everybody happy. You got to keep everybody engaged, involved, picked up, where, let's say, like, you got a superstar at one position, he's not seeing the ball as much as he would like, and now he's dejected. He don't want to block on certain plays, this and that. Like, stuff like that happens all the time in professional sports. So, like, those are those intangibles where that specific position, the intangibles matter so much.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? Look at y'all. Talking about Pat Mahomes is in the right place. Baker Mayfield should be up there, and hopefully he gets a chance to go higher. Look at you. Okay.
You think he know what he's talking about, or he just came up with
he don't know what he's talking
Bro, we could toss him a football. He like, what is this?
Is this a rugby? Is this a rugby ball? What is this?
Yeah.
No, man. Dude, Baker Mayfield being on the list at all was a little bit surprising. Not to say that he's terrible or bad or anything like that. I actually like Baker Mayfield a lot, but I was a little bit surprised to see him there. But then when I thought about, the other quarterbacks, like, who would I take off? Who would I replace him with? The only person that I could think of was maybe CJ Stroud. And again, me being a person who is a Cowboys diehard, I'm not putting Dak Prescott in the top 10.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely not. Because he still haven't won a playoff game, has
He's won one. Yeah, he's won
Mm.
one. But we've still not made it to the NFC Championship in 30 years. Yeah, it's 30 years this year.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I can't. Nah, fam. Got to be realistic. Oh, so he wait. So he says he plays Madden.
Okay. Yeah, you got to start playing NCAA college football too, brother. You got to play a little bit of that.
Absolutely.
So that way you can play with me and Jax online, brother.
Got to play that. Jordan said if someone doesn't want to do certain plays for the team to win because he's the star, wants all the glory, then fuck that thing. I mean, that's true.
Absolutely.
That's any sport.
Yep. But these guys are human, and it does happen. 100%, it does happen.
Yeah, and football is unlike a lot of different sports where the percentage of the attention, the percentage of the salary cap, the percentage of the responsibility is firmly placed on these guys that you see on the screen. The identity of the team is these guys that you see on the screen. And there's a reason why when we look at win-loss records of quarterbacks, they're the only ones that get these win-loss records. We don't look at Barry Sanders and say, oh, well, his win-loss record was yada, yada, yada. He's the greatest running back of all time. I don't really think that you can really deny that. But, the same example that you brought up with Dan Marino, like people, like look at him terribly because he didn't win a Super Bowl. So it's not fair in two different directions. They get they get more love than they probably should, but they get more hate than they probably should as well.
That's just the nature of the position.
Yeah.
It's a leadership position. Like you got to lead the team. Everybody looks to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I got a question for you. I got a quick little question for you. So the top four, is there anything you would switch with the top four?
That's a good question because I have an answer for that. Yes. I would switch Lamar and Joe Burrow. That's probably the ones that I would switch. Lamar does have two MVPs. And now I know Joe Burrow has, he's made it to the Super Bowl, I think more recently. But and it's the top four, they are elite, and any of those four can win the MVP this year, hands down. Any of those four could definitely be the best quarterback league at any point this year. But I still think that right now, going into the year, I would put Lamar ahead of Joe Burrow, especially considering how slow they started last year.
Yeah.
Let's see, what did he say? Grimy said, based on intangible, dude was a freak athlete.
Talking about Anthony Richardson. So Grimy, this is my rebuttal to that. If you go look at Anthony Richardson's stats at any level, the stats will never jump off the screen. Yes, freak athlete, but at that position, though, like being a freak athlete can only get you so far at that position. Like think young Michael Vick. Yes, Michael Vick was a crazy athlete at the position, but he still struggled when you were able to keep him in the pocket. You know what I mean? Like you got to be able to do a little bit of both. And I mean, Anthony Richardson at Florida didn't really do a whole lot.
No, he didn't.
And I'm sure Lane can chime in on that.
100%. And I mean, another example, same team. Jeff George. Jeff George was an unbelievable. I mean, his arm talent was ridiculous. I don't think that there's anybody that could throw the way that Jeff George could. But the problem with that is you got to throw to the right people at the right time in the right area.
Yep.
And I think that especially when it comes to black quarterbacks, we look at their mobility and their ability to escape pressure and make plays on the move. But you got to look at, some people who have the arm talent to fit the ball into tight spaces, but like they trusted way too much. And I think that that's where Jeff George got in trouble during his career. It's not all about the physical part of it. You got to put that together with the mental part of it, and all facets of the game. And I don't think that either one of those gentlemen have been able to do that. I mean, Anthony Richardson has the ability to do it, but his leash is getting real short because they don't have a lot of patience for what he's done so far.
Absolutely. And I think honestly what they should do is try and use him a little bit more like how the Ravens used why am I drawing a blank right now?
What, quarterback?
Yeah. With a lot more design run game. Get him on like bootlegs a lot more, get him moving. If you just got him like flat-footed in the pocket, I think the game can speed up on him a little bit, and he can get rushed into making some bad decisions and then start getting inaccurate. But overall, though, I mean, I hope it works out for him. You never want to see somebody young come in and just struggle and never figure it out. But that's the way it is. Like, not everybody figures it out, unfortunately.
Man, Anthony Richardson messed up my fantasy team a couple years ago. Dude, I thought he was going to come in. I thought he was going to be decent. So I was like, I'm going to wait to pick a quarterback. I'm going to pick up Anthony Richardson. He going to be all right. Bruh. And then the game that he was just like, nah, I'm not going back in. Like, for real? That's what we doing? Like, dude, come on. I've been sour on that dude ever since. I've been sour on him since. But I hope he gets it together, but I don't have high hopes for him. I really don't. But he has the physical tools too.
And then Grimy talking about Baker Mayfield ran from the cops one time. Bro, have you ever seen that video? He ran from, I think he either got tackled or he got I think he got tackled. And was Baker still in college when that happened?
I think so.
Yeah.
Nah, Baker's wild, man. He's wild. He got this thing on I think it's with Peyton Manning's production company, Omaha Productions, where he does puts on the disguise and goes through this fan tour of the Bucs facility, and at the end he reveals himself. It's actually pretty funny. That dude has a crazy personality.
I mean, it makes sense when you like watch his career and see what he was like in college. To be fair, I think he needed that to end up being the player he became, because you don't go from walk-on to Heisman Trophy winner and like just being like, oh, I'm just okay. Like, no, you got to think you are that guy in your mind.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
See, what you know about Bo Nix?
Leroy don't know about Bo Nix.
They got football in Canada, but he ain't Canadian. Grimy brought up Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman was actually really talented, but he played within the system, which to that point, he played within the system and used the people around him to get 3 chips.
As he should.
Shoot. Wait, who's Lane's team?
Florida.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah. Good luck with that. That's not gonna work out.
Lane, are you a Dolphins fan too?
Yeah, she might be. Probably is. All right, so let's dig into some UFC stuff real quick.
Over the weekend, Derrick the Black Beast Lewis added another win to his resume, continuing his legacy as the most dangerous knockout artist in UFC history. But with the heavyweight division currently in flux, there's been some talk about whether Lewis could be a viable contender for the title, potentially facing Tom Aspinall for the belt. With the heavyweight division looking weaker than ever, could a fight between Lewis and Aspinall really make sense? Does Derrick have what it takes to contend for the belt again? Or is he way past his prime and just along for the ride? Let's break down the pros and cons of this potential matchup and discuss whether or not it's a realistic option for both fighters and the division.
All right. So is Derrick Lewis versus Tom Aspinall, a reasonable fight to have at this point. I'm very curious what they're going to say in the chat. But I mean, we all know that, and we've all said on different platforms that the heavyweight division is troubled. So what do you think? I mean, based on what we know from the heavyweight division, if Dana White came out with one of his "What's up, guys" and said we're gonna have Derrick Lewis versus Tom Aspinall in November in Madison Square Garden, like, what would you? Is that even reasonable?
I'm gonna say absolutely not. And I'll give you a couple different reasons as to why. So we've seen Derrick Lewis in title fights. He just does not show up in title fights for whatever reason. When Derrick Lewis is on the big stage, we don't get the Derrick Lewis we got this past weekend. Like, you put him in the main event of like fight nights, all of that. Yes, we gonna get super entertaining Derrick Lewis. And then we also got to think he lost to Cyril Gane. He lost to he lost to Johnson Almeida too, right?
Yep.
And these are both two guys in the top 5. Like, I don't think that would make any sense at all. But hey, we have seen stranger things in the UFC, so it could happen. But I personally think we're either gonna see Aspinall against Gane or Almeida.
Yeah. Lane said absolutely not. D-Lou doesn't deserve it. And I would agree. Deserve, but deserve is the key word. The question is it reasonable? So I would say this: if Gane is available, if Almeida is available, then yeah, you got to go with them. Absolutely, you got to. But what I feel is a little Dustin Poirier situation coming on, where, if you remember back when he got the title shot against Makhachev, it was really just the timing. Dustin was the top 5, so it's different. But at that point, Dustin didn't necessarily deserve it. It's just he was in the right place at the right time. And really coming off of a win over Benoit Saint-Denis isn't really supposed to get you a title fight. But right place, right time, and he was available, and Makhachev really just wanted to fight. Well, looking at this situation, Tom Aspinall really wants to fight. He's been without a check that we know of for quite a while. Oh, what's up, MMA hoes? Hey, MMA hoes, while I'm on this, just got that plaque that everybody's trying to get. So congratulations to you. That's a lot of hard work to get there.
Big congrats.
That's a big deal. But yeah, so I feel like if things fall a weird kind of way, I think it's possible. I think it's possible that his next fight could be for a belt. I think that what would need to happen is it would have to be a situation where Tom ends up fighting somebody, fighting maybe Cyril Gane, wins, and then nobody else is available. It has to be something weird like that. But if it were to happen, I don't think anybody would bat an eye. And the reason I say that is because, one, he's obviously beloved. Everybody, I've never seen anybody say that they don't like Derrick Lewis. And then two, even in that fight against Teixeira, kind of an early stoppage.
Yeah, definitely. Bro, I was low-key surprised, but I'm like, what is Herzog doing? I mean, now I will say this. If the fight had kept going, he definitely should have lost the point. Like, he pulled himself up on the cage. Like, I can admit that. But this dude ate the left hook, ate some ground and pound, and was still there. Like, how are you jumping in? Like, clearly he's trying to get back to his feet. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It put Herzog in a weird situation too, because, like, what does he do at that point? So obviously he got clipped. He was on the ground, taking some ground and pound, trying to get to his feet, grabs the cage with both hands. Do you stop it right there and take the point? Which you really can't.
Exactly.
If you stop it right there, then now you're losing the momentum of what Derrick. And so now Derrick is getting punished this dude grabbing the cage. But if you just let it go on, then I mean, I guess that's probably the only thing that you could do is just let it keep going.
Yeah, I would have let it keep going, and then if there got any space or any separation, then I would have jumped in and then taken a point. But in that situation, like Derrick is so close to finishing him, and you just don't know like what may happen. But to me, it looked like Teixeira was still there. To me,
he absolutely was. But to my point, the way that there was no large uproar over Teixeira getting an early stoppage. There's some people that mentioned it. You know, Lane just said it. There were people that mentioned it, but wasn't nobody going to no campaign of, you know, for Taliesin Teixeira getting that win back because of the early stoppage. So like, just lets me know people love Derrick Lewis. And if he were to get a undeserved title shot, nobody's gonna bat an eye. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
Yeah. And just like Grimy said, Lewis versus Tom sells, in my opinion, but Tom subs in first, second round. 100%.
Probably.
100%.
Probably.
Yeah.
But there's the mythical fairy tale that Tom goes in there and Tom does get hit. And I would say that Derrick Lewis is somebody you don't want to get hit by.
Fair.
It's possible. It's possible that he could clip him and put him out. I don't think that's what happens.
This brings up, I got a question for you. So who's Tom's toughest fight currently in heavyweight in the UFC? I had to put those parameters on you.
Yeah. I think it's Cyril Gane. I think. But like that's assuming that Cyril Gane has really worked on his takedown defense. And from what I've seen, he has. And I wouldn't say that Tom is some crazy technical wrestler, but he's big and he's strong. And I've seen him take people down, and he's a really good grappler. So I would say that Cyril Gane is because of the way that he moves. But at this point, it feels like he doesn't have anybody that's really going to challenge him like that.
I mean, I see Jay Beard says Volkov's is tough fight. Bro, he almost snatched his arm off in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like,
honestly, like for real, I feel like for Aspinall to give him a tough match, you got to have one of a couple things. You either got to have that deft touch, or you got to just be very skilled on the feet and like can keep him at range, and you can frustrate him for a very long time. So for me, that's gone. Derrick Lewis always got the nuclear option, but I just think, man, we got enough evidence of seeing him in title fights and big time fights of just, you know, seeing what he's gonna do when he's on that stage.
I agree. And I see, you know, I knew that Lane was gonna pull in Alex Pereira, and I get it, but at the same time, I feel like it's a little different once you get up, you know, and you're fighting against the big boys like that. The power doesn't mean as much. It doesn't mean as much as it did at the lower weight. And I mean, there's a little bit of assuming that we're doing as far as the type of power that he would have. We already know that Tom is going to have the grappling advantage. So if Tom has the grappling advantage and their power is the same or Tom's is better, is that really a fight? I mean, novelty is there, but I don't really give Alex that big of a shot.
Same. Personally, I just don't think there's anybody currently at heavyweight where the danger factor is anywhere above like a 4 for me.
Yes,
Aspinall.
You know, and that brings up another question too. Is and so ITP MMA put out a video about you know, Derrick Lewis and Tom and stuff, and I left a comment that there was a lot of conversation in there about, and I was saying that I thought that Tom is he's suffering because of the heavyweight division being the way that it is. Every other notable fighter that could be considered to be on the Mount Rushmore or even super popular, they have a primary or even multiple primary people that they fought that boosted their profile.
Yep.
I mean, you can go down the line and just name somebody, and there's going to be somebody on the other side of that helped boost their profile.
100%.
Tom doesn't have that, and I think that's why we were saying that Tom needs John, if only for this, because he needs somebody that some people think has a possible chance of beating him to help boost his profile, and he ain't got it.
Yep. He either needs John or he needs Francis to get back into the UFC. Like, unfortunately, there's just not another guy in the division to really make any Aspinall fight really, really huge from just a danger standpoint. You know what I mean? And it sucks for him because it's not his fault that the division is the way it is right now. It's not his fault at all. So, you know, it's just a tough spot to be in.
It is. It is. Yeah. Highly unfair. 100%. Grammy said Alex versus Tom sells, but same result. Subbed first to second. Yeah.
Yep. And then Grimy just hit it on the head again. He said Tom legacy will never be shit if he doesn't fight names. That's just the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? Because when it's all said and done, people are like, well, who did he beat? Who does he have those big wins over? You know what I mean? Like you can have all these wins. For example, Habib, 29-0, but what's the first thing everybody says? Well, so many of those wins against people you would never know or people that had losing records. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, who you fight and who you win, 100% is gonna matter.
Yep, it does. It matters so much because I can't. When I was looking at this topic, I was like, can I think of a fighter who is a prominent fighter who doesn't have that other person on the other side? And I was like, well, people complain about Mighty Mouse all the time about the way that the division was during that time. But if you think about it, he had John Dotson and he had Henry Cejudo. He's got a guy.
I got one for you. And this literally just popped in my head. Anderson Silva.
I mean, Anderson Silva had Rich Franklin.
Do you put Rich Franklin in that category though?
He was the champ. Like he had defended his belt multiple times.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of these people, the reason that the other person doesn't, Kamaru Usman, the reason that Colby Covington doesn't have the accolades on that level is because Kamaru beat him up twice.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for Colby, and even Kamaru would say that they did beautiful business together.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's what Tom needs, somebody to do that level of business with him. Anderson Silva and Chael Sonnen, they did beautiful business together. Chael never beat him, but they did really good business, and it helped boost Anderson's profile. It's just the way that, I mean, Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya.
Yeah. Oof. Bro, we need to come on here once and just like talk about like our favorite rivalries. Like I feel like that would be a dope stream. We got to do that one.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely got to do that. Matter of fact, I mean, I'm gonna write that down so I'm because that's a good one.
Yeah, we definitely got to do that.
Because there's so many.
Speaking of which, what do you think potentially has like maybe something that's not quite a rivalry right now, but just something that down the line could potentially become like a big time, like the next big time rivalry in the UFC?
Ooh, man, that's tough. But that one didn't pan out. I was hoping that Bo and Joe would both do well. that Bo Nickel and Joe Pyfer would do well, and that would end up being a big rivalry. But they both have stumbled. But I mean, it could come back around. But do you have one already?
The one I think has some potential, just depending on what plays out over the next 6 months. I think Islam Ilya can be there, 100%.
It could. Yair and Diego.
Yeah, that could be a good one too.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think,
because they definitely got issues. Shout out to the bro Ola,
the CEO of the Fight Week show.
Yeah. Oh, and then Combatics MMA always come with some good stuff. Poton Lewis are two names people will remember, but he's going to need a generational dominating run. 100%.
Facts.
That's exactly what Mighty Mouse did. Nobody has defended the belt more than him. And he had to run through some, quote unquote, no names to do it, but he did it.
And that's a good shout from Ola too. Ilya Patty. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one right there.
Yeah. That's a big fight. Huge fight. Other than that, I feel like we're kind of devoid of rivalries like we used to have.
I got another potential one that I don't think will be as big from like a fan crossover standpoint, but from just a pure skill standpoint, that down the line could end up being a really good fight, is Ilya versus Mauricio Rufy.
I was thinking about that one too.
Yes, bro. Yes. To me, those two styles against each other would be perfect.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful fight. I mean, you got if Hoofy is able to keep him away from him with the kicks, and he's not able to get inside and land the punches like that, it's a very different fight. It's a very different fight. Now,
and then Rufy got enough power to where Ilya can't be reckless with him either.
Yeah,
he can't just walk him down. No.
But on the flip side, can Hoofy keep Ilya's grappling away?
Yeah,
that's where Ilya's grappling will enter into the conversation. This is a good one too.
Yeah, that's a good shout by Combatics right there. That's a real good shout.
That's a real good one. Because that was a really good fight until Umar got tired. But I think they'll see each other again. They'll definitely see each other again. Yeah, no, that's a good one. We definitely got to we can do a whole stream on that.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah. All right. So before we jump into the next one, for the people who are in the chat that are creators like the Fight Week show, Ramblin' Dad, MMA Holes, who else? Who am I missing?
Combatics MMA.
Combatics. Yeah. Make sure y'all go and sub to them. Make sure y'all sub to us if y'all haven't. And yeah, let's pop into this next little conversation.
Conor McGregor is back in the headlines, but not for the reasons he'd like. On his 37th birthday, rapper Azalea Banks shared explicit messages she says McGregor sent her, including messages from years ago that have now resurfaced. This controversy adds to the growing list of personal issues McGregor's been dealing with, leading many to question his character and his future, especially since his time in the UFC seems limited despite still having 2 fights left on his contract. With all this drama surrounding him and his career seemingly winding down, here's the question. If you were Conor's best friend, what would you advise him to do at this point in his life? How should he handle his personal life, his public persona, and what's left of his career? Let's dive into this and hear what you think.
Yeah, I had to come at this a different way because what I wasn't going to do is show this man's piece on this platform.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, that is nah. I saw it the one time. I was like, that is it. I ain't like Chael. Did you see what Chael was saying?
Bro, somebody sent me that, DM me that on IG, and I was like, absolutely not, bro. Like who says that? Chael Sonnen. Like, bro, that's wild. Wow.
Chael is a fool. Like, I can't believe he was saying all that, man. I mean, did a whole video on it.
That's wild. But yeah,
So,
if I was Conor's best friend, and like we had that type of relationship where I could actually like be straight up with him, talk to him, I'm like, bro, like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? Like what are you wanting to accomplish? Like, it's so delicate, because when you get that much money, you do feel invincible. It just is what it is. You feel like you're untouchable. You feel like the world is your oyster, because at the end of the day, it is. Like, he can do whatever he wants. But I think we talked about it previously on Crosswalk by just saying that he's got to hit rock bottom first. And if he never hits it, it's just gonna stay down. It's just gonna keep going down until he hits it. And unfortunately, man, it's so sad to see, and you don't want to see it, because you know there's still so much inside of him that he can accomplish and that he can do. And then on top of it, you know, seeing his old lady going through all of this time and time again, it's just a bad look.
it is, man. God, I feel so bad for D. Dude, man, I mean, to see, well, not only for the humiliating part to her, but to her kids, and then just to see this dude that she's been rocking with for so long, been supportive of in the background, to let him live his dream, live.
Did I do something? I think you're muted. I can't hear you. Did you mute yourself? Nope. Got nothing. Well, we're having technical difficulties. Yeah, still got nothing. Still got nothing over here. But Grimy says, did you see how coked out he was, the BKFC presser, as a person who partaked in coke in my past? I'm telling you, he was higher than. Yeah, definitely, Grimy. You definitely can tell that for sure in that press conference. But like I said, man, I don't know. He definitely needs rehab. He's got to get his life on the right path for sure. For sure. So Lane, you said his wife is the ultimate enabler. I mean, what can she really do? Is she gonna go? Y'all's neighbors got the Jax too. We got another mute mouse in here, Lane. It's all good, but it wouldn't be right if there's no technical issues going on.
That normally never happens to me.
I think we got. Yeah, we got you now. We got you. You're back now.
That's so weird. Anyway, yeah, no, I feel sorry for his wife. I do. I feel sorry for his wife, his kids, the whole situation. But like, to me, man, I think the way that he acts, man, he just acts so much like an addict. God, he acts like an addict. And I feel like if I were his friend, it wouldn't be on no intervention type thing, but like, dude, come on, we got to go right now, because you're making a fool of yourself in front of the whole world, and everybody's laughing at you. I'm not, but everybody else is. We got to go fix this situation. And I feel like he don't got no real friends, man. The way that he acts, he ain't got no real friends.
Yeah, it's tough, especially when you're in that position, man. And think about it, like, you're in a financial place where none of your friends are at, remotely close. And you know, it's just tough. It's just so tough, because at the end of the day, the people that care about you, they don't care about any of that money.
No,
they just want you to be okay. You know.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Lord of the Pies said, I didn't see anything specifically during that presser that made me think he was on cocaine. He wasn't sniffing, wasn't touching his nose, none of the absolute giveaways. I mean, Yeah, that's probably true. I ain't never used the booger sugar, but he just, I mean, not even just then when he was doing the press roundup for um Roadhouse, dude, he was acting a
Yeah.
fool,
Yes, he was during the whole Roadhouse thing. 100%. I remember that.
dude. Like he's everything that he's doing just looks like an addict to me. It reminds me a lot of I mean, I mentioned it before. It reminds me so much of Mike Tyson. And when it came down to it, that's what Mike Tyson's problem was. He was an addict.
Yeah.
And once he got really separated from that, he tapped into who he was. And I mean, now we look at Mike Tyson a totally different way than we used to
Mhm.
back in the day. There's a whole generation that doesn't even know the depths of how people looked at that man. I mean, the Mike Tyson that was on the Robin Givens interview way back in the day, that's a
Mhm.
totally different Mike Tyson than the one that fought Jake Paul. That's a whole
Mhm.
different guy.
Oh yeah. Like the Mike Tyson back then, bro, was like scared you just being like around him. Like
Yeah,
everybody was just in fear.
yeah. That dude's just dangerous, unhinged, a loose
Mhm.
cannon. It, I think Jamie Foxx said that he was like a pit bull that got let off the leash in the room. That's what it was like anytime you were around him.
Yep.
He said he definitely uses, but I just didn't see anything that convinced me at the time. That dude uses a lot. And like you said, people are so dangerous when they have unlimited resources.
Yep.
So you've been around a lot of people who ended up getting a lot of money. Have you seen any situations where like the person clearly changed their character? Like, I mean, horribly from the person that they were when you first met them.
Yeah, for sure. And literally what it is, man, it's just the money, the partying, and life just gets so much faster. Like you're just around, you're in all these different situations, positions, you're around people you're not usually around. Obviously, there's some recreational things around you at all times. And if you don't have that discipline, that control, man, it is so easy for guys to fall victim to it. And next thing you know, 6 months to a year goes by and they're a totally different person. You don't even recognize them anymore. I actually played with a guy and he actually OD'd, but he managed to survive. But he OD'd on
Wow.
opioids actually
Dang.
during the off season. And bro, it was actually one of my teammates OD'd, but he came back, and another one OD'd and did not make it, and they were like super tight, and they were like doing a lot of it together. So
Wow.
I've definitely seen it up close.
That's crazy. It's full lazy.
And of course, Lord of Pies is right, lifting a blunt probably.
So wait, let me go back. Lane said this is interesting. She said D needs to give him an ultimatum.
I don't even think that'll do it.
I don't think that she can.
Nope.
I don't think it's possible. Like, sure, taking the kids that's a threat. But the flip side of that, and it really depends on the legal part of it, is who's bringing the money in? How does D get money?
Yep.
And how can she prove to the court that she can sustain a lifestyle without him?
Mm-hmm. Because I don't know what like child support is over there and all of that. Like I have no idea what it's like over there, but I don't think she can give him the ultimatum, and I really don't think that'll be enough. Honestly, what I think, unfortunately, I think it would be her leaving, him not having access to the kids like that. And then I think it'll start to hit him a little bit to where like his life is really, really falling apart.
Yeah, I feel like one of these cases would have to actually go through, and he would have to get locked up. Like, not for a long time, nothing like that. But I think that if he were to be locked up for a year, I think we might see a different Conor. I think we would.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
It is. It is. But I will say I did laugh when it came out. I did laugh.
Yeah, when the picture got put in the group chat, I didn't even click on it. I just kept scrolling.
Nah, I like when it came up, I was like, I thought it was like AI or something. I'm like, boy, they really going forward this AI. And then I saw all the stories. I was like, wait, maybe this is real.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that it was Azalea Banks. I don't know if y'all know who Azalea Banks is, but if Conor was looking for a black woman who's going to act like people who don't know black women act, assumes that they act, he found the right one. That's the right one, because she's going to put you on blast in front of everybody and doesn't care. Like, she doesn't care at all. And she doesn't care if there's any blowback on her. She has no conscience. No conscience. And yeah, that was the wrong one to be sending anything like that. And I've heard that they had a relationship at some point. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. Not with her. Not with her.
Yeah, and to be fair, when you're at Conor's level and you got that kind of money, it's very easy for you to have relationships where nobody knows about it. You can pay these people to where they will never say a word. They will never do anything. And unfortunately, that's the way a lot of it goes. And, we will never see a lot of, because think about it. Tiger Woods was doing his thing for so long with so many women and nobody had an idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tiger was putting up real numbers.
Mm-hmm. For real.
Hall of Fame level numbers out there. Wilt Chamberlain type numbers. And nobody knew anything. Let's see, what'd you say, Lazy? See, yeah, I'm sure at this point she's accepted the humiliation and the escapades. So the financial aspect has to be a motivator for sticking around. She needs to think of the kids at some point. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard for her in a sense, like, that's her livelihood. So, and there's a lot of things that she did to make him successful.
Mm-hmm.
Just because she hasn't been working, she's held down the fort. She's had to raise these kids. And sure, the money helps, but she still got to raise them. So her leaving is going to be a major downgrade in her lifestyle. And it's like, does she want to do that? Is it worth it?
And to the kids too.
Yeah.
Just like what Lord of Paz just said, well, kids are usually better off with one mother and one father. So that's a complicated situation. 100%. Because truly in my heart, we all know D still loves Conor. Like, there's probably nothing Conor can do to where that's going to waver that. And she's like, no, like, I've been with him through it all and I'm still here. Like, I'm not about to leave him now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, I guess it really is leave him and go where? Leave him and do what?
Exactly.
What's up, Western?
What's going on, Westy?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, but I don't know. I don't think that there's an ultimatum to give. I think that she feels stuck. I'm sure she feels stuck. And it, from the outside looking in, it kind of look like she is. Yeah, they got 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I heard she was pregnant again.
Oh,
that's
wow.
True. I don't know if that's true or not.
Wow.
I heard she was, though.
Yeah, that whole situation is just tough, man.
Mm-hmm. All anyone can do is hope he gets his act together, whatever the reason may be. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, Western, that they own 4. Ridiculous.
Sheesh.
Hopefully he gets it together. So before we get out of here, let's talk just a little bit about UFC 318. How do you feel about this card? Like, I know you did your videos, your previews. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this card as a whole?
The card as a whole, I mean, you know, any numbered card for me, like I'm always pumped for. You know, Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. Do we finally see the BMF title get defended, or do we see it just get passed again? Also, I mean, I'm trying to think what other fights I think that are going. I'm really looking forward to seeing Atiba Gauthier. I know, you know, it's just his second fight in the UFC. The middleweight version of Francis Ngannou. I'm very curious to see how this guy's career develops moving forward. But I'm always excited for a number card, so I'm looking forward to it. What about you?
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm unbelievably nervous about it because I'm such a big fan of both Poirier and Holloway. You know, hence the hat. That's another reason. Like I really like Dustin Poirier is, you know, one of the first fighters that I really was like, I'm a super fan of. And then came along Max Holloway, and I became a massive fan of his too. So it's really hard to see. It hurts to see them fight each other, and to know that, you know, somebody's going to have to lose really sucks. So yeah, I don't even know, you know, for our contest, I don't even know who to pick at this point because it's so it feels like a lose-lose. But also,
Lord of Pies, before you go on, Lord of Pies, is that real? Because I saw the rumors on Twitter, but I haven't seen anything official. Is that official though?
I haven't seen anything official.
Okay,
but I've seen that all over the place.
And Westy, you just asked about odds of Dustin fighting Ilya if he beats Max. Dustin he was just on the interview like a day or two ago saying that he's done.
Yeah,
he's not fighting.
Yeah, even though I think that would be an interesting fight. Yeah, not happening. But I am excited about Atiba Gauthier. I feel like he's getting kind of a telegraphed easy layup fight, kind of a short fight against Valentin. Not that Valentin's a bad fighter or anything like that. He's just one-dimensional. Francisco Prado, I'm excited to see him him again. He's
always fun.
And then the grudge match between Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen could be interesting. It could be boring.
And I got a sneaky one. Kyler Phillips, Vinicius Oliveira is a sneaky one. I think a lot of people ain't talking about it, and it's getting kind of overlooked. Vinicius Oliveira is always exciting. Always.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. What are your thoughts on this Kevin Holland Daniel Rodriguez fight?
I think it's a good fight for Kevin Holland. Like another striker, ain't gonna have to worry about takedowns, got a reach advantage. The only issue I could see is just maybe Holland has an issue with the southpaw, but outside of that, I think it's a really good matchup for Kevin Holland. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, he should, in theory, kind of walk through Daniel Rodriguez. I think that Daniel Rodriguez beats, newcomers to the UFC and things like that. But I've never really thought he was dynamic enough to fight people who have the dynamic striking skills and submission grappling as Kevin Holland. So in reality, Kevin should walk through him. But Kevin has a tendency to fight down sometimes to his competition. And hopefully that doesn't happen for him, because I really feel like Kevin can make some noise in this division. I still feel like he can, but I don't know, man. I kind of don't trust him. I kind of don't.
Yeah, I've kind of like flip-flopped on Kevin Holland. Like when I believe in him, that's when he doesn't show up. When I'm like, all right, I'll never do that again, that's when he shows up and just finishes somebody in the first round. So
yeah,
For me, it's just I just can't. I feel like I can't quite put my finger on it or just call it with Kevin Holland. But I do like this matchup for him though, and I like him a lot better at welterweight than middleweight.
A whole lot better. That's a good question. Holland versus D-Rod is a fun fight. If D-Rod wins, what does he do next? Oh boy,
Fight another
he doesn't
vet.
win.
Yeah, he doesn't win. Let's stick with that.
Yeah, but if he does win, I could see D-Rod fighting somebody at the back end of the top 10, or not top 10, but top 15. Just because of him beating Kevin, because Kevin is perennially right there at the at the back end, either in the top 15 or right outside the top 15. So if D-Rod beats him, I can see him fighting somebody like I don't know. He's gonna call for Gilbert Burns. That's easy pickings in their mind.
Yeah,
I'd call for him.
yeah. I feel like D-Rod, he just vet fights from here on out. Just all vet fights.
Yeah, that's why I think it should be. That's the way I think his career should go. Because I mean, he's a fun fighter, but in the right matchups. What do you think about the Paulo Costa Roman Kopylov?
So I think Costa's cooked. I think he's been cooked for a while now. Doesn't have a win over anybody in the UFC. His last win was Luke Rockhold. I think Kopylov gonna put it on him personally in the striking. Like for me, Kopylov's very dangerous, and I think the way to get Kopylov is in the grappling. That's not Paulo Costa's game.
Yeah, 100%. I think the Kopylov is. I've been high on him ever since he got into the UFC, and I think that he definitely. I think he finishes Paulo Costa.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, to that Kopylov. I mean, Costa is the one who can't be trusted.
Facts.
Yeah.
At least he's making weight these days, though.
True. Yeah. Copy kicks him in the head.
Yeah, maybe I'm speaking too soon, though.
All right, last one I'm gonna ask you about on this card. Well, actually, two more. Dan Ige and Pitbull.
So, Pitbull, man, his UFC debut, it really looked like he was just stuck in quicksand. He just couldn't get going at any point. And Dan Ige always turns up, always shows up. If you're not fully there, Dan Ige got some power in his hands, and he can do some bad things to you. But I just think, Pitbull just been through too many wars, long in the tooth. And I think Ige, got some solid momentum after getting that Sean Woodson finish. And I'm liking Ige in that one.
Yeah, man. I picked against Ige in that fight. And yeah, I recognize my mistake, and I'm not falling for that again. Definitely picking Ige in this one. And if Pitbull comes out, with his little slow-mo situation, yeah, Pitbull is gonna get finished.
Yeah, definitely a banger. Ige is always in bangers. He's always ready to bang.
Yep. Exactly. Long in the tooth.
Long in the tooth.
So the last one I asked you about, going back to the top of the card. So what's your prediction on this thing? Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier.
Man, I need to find me a little coin, man, so I can flip it. But literally, that's where I'm at on this fight. I mean, Dustin's 2-0 against Max. Max coming off that getting brutally finished by Ilya. Where is he gonna be at mentally?
Yeah.
Dustin, it's the retirement fight in his backyard in New Orleans. Man, it's so many different things. I think we're gonna get a phenomenal fight, another all-timer. I think this is gonna go into the championship rounds, and I want Dustin to go out with a win. I really do. But I will say this though, for whatever reason, I'm never too good at picking Dustin Poirier fights. When I pick Dustin to lose, either he loses or he wins. But if I pick him to win, he never wins. So.
So far, I've been pretty good at picking Dustin fights. And I haven't been, kind of betting with my heart, because if that's the case, I'm always picking Dustin. But in this fight, it would be better for the UFC if Dustin loses.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, if he wins, then now we got the what if factor, and it kind of ruins Max's his new tenure in the lightweight division. If Max wins, now we've started to spin back towards a story of him getting closer to fighting for a belt. So
even after the champ just finished him?
Even after the champ just finished him, I think that he'd be closer. Now, I'm not saying that he would fight for a belt immediately. I think that, Patty has a case before him, even though I don't think Patty is there yet. It's just Patty. Obviously, Justin has a case. Armin has a case. All of those people have a case before him. But because of Max's popularity, his legacy of being a featherweight champ, and yeah, his popularity and those things and legacy put together, he's going to get opportunities that other people don't get. So I think that his path is shorter. If he's able to beat Dustin Poirier, who is he still in the top 5? He's still in the top 5, like 4 or 5. That's still a top 5 win. And that's going to help you move closer to the belt. It's just those are the facts, and that would be better for the division. But that being said, I don't think that too much has changed since their last fight, as far as like their style. I think that Max has that what do you call it? That one kick, the one that he broke Gaethje's nose with.
The spinning back kick.
Yeah, spinning back kick. He has that in his bag. That's new. Other than that, I think that Max is Max, which is very formidable, but it's the same guy that Dustin fought last time. So, and I think that Dustin Poirier mostly is the same guy. And I think that this ends up being the same way.
It's gonna be a war.
It's gonna be a war, and I think that a war of attrition, and I think that Dustin is just gonna land the more meaningful shots, and it's gonna go to decision. It'll be a close fight. It'll probably be 3-2, and I think that Dustin's gonna get it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and he gets to walk away with a belt.
For Max to win, what does he have to do?
He has to have Dustin going backwards. He has to put the pressure on. He has to throw that kick, because that kick is a great equalizer, because it makes people not want to come in to the pocket whenever they want to, because people who don't know about Max's striking or haven't experienced it, they think that he doesn't have power, so they'll start to go into the void. And yeah, they'll eat some shots, but it won't hurt them. That spinning back kick hurts people. And that, if he's able to employ that whenever he wants to, and he can do it in tight spaces, in long range, he can do it anywhere he wants. If he's able to use that, I think that changes the whole complexity of the fight. That is the one move that changed everything in the Justin Gaethje fight.
Yep.
And I think because of that, Gaethje was no longer walking forward. He was walking backwards. And if he can get Dustin Poirier going backwards, that's a different Dustin Poirier. That's what he has to get.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think for me, man, I think Holloway got to come out fast and just go ahead and just get the volume started straight away. Like, don't allow Dustin to get comfortable, because with Dustin, if you come out and you come out at a high pace, Dustin's gonna match it. And once he starts to match it, then he'll slow down a little bit, and then the how dangerous the hands will probably diminish a little bit. And we know, like, when it comes to volume striking, nobody's better than Max Holloway.
True. It's true. Nobody's landed more punches than Max Holloway. But on the flip side, nobody's been hit as much as Max Holloway.
True.
And Dustin is not a guy you want to be getting hit by. He doesn't have one punch knockout power, but those punches, your energy meter go down pretty substantially when you do get hit by him. I'm not like Olin, where I think that Dustin is, the best boxer in the in MMA. I definitely think that Ilia's boxing is more crisp, but Dustin's mind to use different punches at different times is very elite.
Yeah, very creative. Elite. Very creative with it.
Yes.
Manages distance real well. And then that little that step through where he'll be southpaw and then he steps through and goes orthodox into the overhand. That's real nice too. And
where is he best at doing that? When somebody is against the cage.
Yeah.
Going forward and they aren't. Like, you got to be doing that. And if you go back and watch the last fight with Max and Dustin, that's where Max was getting in trouble. Max cut off the cage, and he was able to start doing that. That's how Dustin got Justin the first time. That's how he got Eddie Alvarez. You can go down the list of Dustin's finishes. That's how he's getting them. So I don't think that Dustin's going to need any jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be on the feet. We're going to get an old school striker's delight this weekend.
Yep. Weston said Max ain't catching Dustin with that like he caught Gaethje. I mean, I hope he doesn't. But when somebody's throwing something that in a space that you don't think that they can throw that, they'll catch you with it. When he caught Justin Gaethje with that kick,
they weren't close.
They were close, and Max was close to the cage.
Yeah,
there's no way you should even do that, and he did it, and it landed. Yeah,
it's gonna be a good one.
I feel the same way, Chris Cushman. I feel the same way. It's gonna be painful. Cool. So before we get out of here, I do have a video. It's an interview that I did with Max Griffin before the fight this past weekend, which was a split decision loss to Chris Curtis. But we talk about that and talk about a variety of other things. So if y'all haven't checked that out, make sure y'all go and check that out. And then I know you got some stuff up.
Yeah, so I got my UFC 318 video up, and I will be live streaming again later on tonight for Tough. So make sure y'all all pull up tonight for that. And then, man, next thing we know, Dana White's Contender Series is gonna be starting up here pretty soon, and I'm gonna be live streaming for that. So just keep tapping in with us. I know we got Dust Up Shakedown tomorrow, got the prediction show on Friday, and there'll definitely be a watch along on Saturday. So, just make sure everybody, you got those notifications turned on so you get notified when we drop something, when we going live. And, we always love having each and every one of y'all in here with us.
100%. And everybody that's on Twitter, man, make sure y'all jump into YouTube and link up with us. Look at the different channels and watch the different videos and things like that. We appreciate y'all popping into Twitter and us out. So yeah, until next time, we'll holler at y'all.
Peace.
Thanks for watching Crosswalk. Make sure to come back next Tuesday to chop it up.
So please, sa